The story begins with Daniel, a single father in his mid-30s. His life wasn't easy. Raising his little daughter Lily on his own after his wife passed away was both his greatest challenge and his greatest joy. He worked long hours at a construction site, his hands rough and scarred, his back often aching, but his heart never tired of loving Lily. Every evening, after finishing work, he would hurry home to cook her dinner, help with her homework, and read her a bedtime story. To him, she was his world. Daniel lived in a modest neighborhood, not the safest but affordable for someone on his income. Despite the hardships, he made sure Lily never felt she lacked anything. Her lunchbox was always packed, her clothes always clean, and her smile always bright. She often told him, "Daddy, you're my hero." But Daniel never saw himself that way. To him, he was just a father doing what any loving parent would do. One Saturday afternoon, Daniel decided to take Lily out to the park. The sun was warm, children's laughter filled the air, and the sweet smell of cotton candy lingered from a vendor nearby. Lily ran ahead, her little pigtails bouncing, as she giggled and called for her dad to catch her. Daniel laughed, pretending to chase her, grateful for moments like these. For him, time with Lily was priceless. After a while, Daniel sat on a bench to rest, sipping on a bottle of water, while Lily joined other kids near the swings. As he watched her, his eyes caught something unusual happening a short distance away, near the parking lot. A young girl, maybe 12 or 13, was struggling. A man had grabbed her by the arm and was trying to pull her toward a car. At first, Daniel thought it might be a father disciplining his daughter, but something about the scene felt wrong. The girl's eyes were wide with terror, her lips trembling as she tried to scream but no sound came out. The man's grip was harsh, his body language aggressive, and he kept glancing around nervously. In that instant, Daniel's protective instincts roared to life. He didn't think. He didn't weigh consequences, he just acted. His heart pounded, adrenaline surged, and he bolted from the bench, leaving his water bottle rolling on the ground. The man had nearly dragged the girl to the car when Daniel reached them. Without a word, without hesitation, Daniel swung his fist. The punch landed squarely on the man's jaw, sending him staggering backward. The girl broke free, stumbling to the ground, gasping for breath. Daniel positioned himself in front of her, his voice fierce. "Are you okay? Did he hurt you?" The girl shook her head rapidly, tears streaming down her cheeks. "Please, don't let him take me," she cried. The man snarled, recovering from the punch, his eyes blazing with anger. "Who the hell are you? Stay out of this," he spat. Daniel stood tall, his fists clenched, his entire body radiating the kind of determination only a parent could understand. "I'm someone who won't let you touch this child again," he said firmly. The man lunged forward, but Daniel blocked him, delivering another blow that sent the man stumbling once more. People in the park had begun to notice the commotion. Some pulled out their phones to record, while others shouted for security. A few rushed toward the scene. The man realized he was outnumbered and bolted, sprinting across the parking lot and disappearing between cars before anyone could catch him. Daniel quickly turned back to the girl, kneeling to meet her eyes. "You're safe now," he said softly, his tone changing from fierce protector to gentle comforter. "Can you tell me your name?" Through sobs, she whispered, "Emily." "Okay, Emily," Daniel said, offering his hand. "I'm Daniel. This is my daughter Lily over there. You're safe, I promise." Park, security and a couple of bystanders arrived. They asked Emily what happened, and she explained in broken words that the man was a stranger who tried to force her into his car. Her parents were nowhere in sight. She had been walking back from the restroom when the man grabbed her. Daniel stayed by her side the entire time, making sure she felt secure. Soon, the police were called. When they arrived, they questioned everyone, including Daniel. Some officers praised him for his quick action, while others reminded him he had taken a risk by attacking without knowing all the details. But Daniel didn't regret a thing. He knew what he saw, a terrified child in danger. To him, there was no other choice. Lily came running over, clinging to her father's arm. "Daddy, what happened?" she asked, her innocent eyes full of worry. Daniel picked her up gently. "It's okay, sweetheart. Daddy just helped someone who needed it." Emily was soon reunited with her frantic parents, who had been searching for her. They were overwhelmed with gratitude, tears streaming down their faces as they thanked Daniel over and over. "If it weren't for you," one of them said, "I don't know what would have happened to our little girl." Daniel smiled humbly, shaking his head. Anyone would have done the same. But deep down, he knew not everyone would have. Many might have looked away, convincing themselves it wasn't their business. He acted because he knew what it meant to love a child so deeply you'd risk everything to protect them. That night, after the police report was filed and Emily was safe with her parents, Daniel returned home with Lily. He tucked her into bed, kissed her forehead, and whispered, "Always remember, sweetheart, we must stand up for others, especially when they can't stand up for themselves." Lily hugged him tightly, her little voice muffled against his chest. "You really are my hero, Daddy." Daniel felt tears prick his eyes. For years, he doubted himself, wondered if he was enough for Lily, if he was doing this fatherhood thing right. But in that moment, hearing those words, he realized he didn't need to be perfect. He just needed to be present, to protect, to love, and to act when it mattered most. The story of his bravery spread quickly. Someone had recorded the incident at the park, and within days, the video went viral online. Headlines read: "Single dad saves girl from abduction and stranger punches suspected kidnapper to save child." People flooded his social media with messages of admiration, calling him a real-life hero. But Daniel never let it go to his head. He wasn't in it for fame or recognition. He was simply a father who knew the value of a child's safety, a man who refused to stand by while innocence was threatened. Weeks later, Emily's parents visited Daniel at his modest home. They brought flowers, a thank you card, and something else. A framed picture of Emily smiling, holding a sign that said, "Thank you, my hero." Daniel was touched beyond words. He placed the photo on a shelf in his living room, right beside a picture of Lily and his late wife. It became a daily reminder that courage doesn't require capes or superpowers. Sometimes, courage is just a single dad who acts without thinking twice, because his heart knows what's right. And while Daniel never asked for recognition, his actions left an unforgettable mark. He proved that even in a world where people often turn away, one person's bravery can make the difference between tragedy and safety, fear and hope. His story continues to inspire countless others, reminding us all that heroes are not found in comic books. They walk among us, quietly raising their children, going to work, living ordinary lives, until the moment comes when extraordinary courage is needed. And when that moment came for Daniel, he punched first, asked later, and saved a life, because sometimes, that's what true heroes do.